So the next morning after Austin, I looked at my schedule, and I had thought that we had a whole day in Austin and then we had to stay somewhere before going to San Antonio, but I was wrong. I was very wrong. We actually had to be in San Antonio that night by 7 p.m. So that's not that bad because it was only a few hours of a drive. So we all loaded up in the car and we went off to San Antonio.
We went to do a lecture for Scott Pepper's Magicians Agency Theater. It is his own space where he puts on shows. It's been open for about a year. And we went ahead and did a lecture there. It was a very small turnout, but it was a very, very fun lecture to do, actually. We turned it into more of a little bit of a workshop there. And there was an effect that Kent usually does. And he didn't think it would work too well with just 2 people. But it ended up working out just fine.
Yeah, the clock trick, I normally do it for very large audiences, at least 50 plus, but it turned out to work just fine, just as well with only 3 people in the audience, so that was pretty cool. And then we got to workshop some stuff with them too.
Yeah, and I could tell that they actually really did appreciate the material, they really liked it. One of the things that was interesting about that place was it was right next to the Alamo, and every single one of us thought that the Alamo was in the middle of a desert, but that's not how it is.
Yeah. Think of your image of the Alamo right now. If you haven't already been there, you're probably thinking you got to drive 40 minutes into the desert somewhere, pass some government gating, right? Pay a little fee, and then go in and maybe look at it, or maybe not even pay a fee. Maybe just take pictures from a gate from the outside.
Yeah.
It's like
It's not Pee-wee's Big Adventure Alamo.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's right in the middle of the city. It's right there.
It's right in the middle of this city, and you literally can walk right up to it, and you walk around it, and it's in this big, like, walking mall space, this big open-air space, and the theater, the Magicians Agency Theater, was like a 2-minute walk from the Alamo.
Yeah.
It's just in this big open space. Oh, and when he brought us out onto that balcony in the back, that was pretty cool.
The building where the Magicians Agency Theater was very cool because it was multi-leveled, like, there was many stories to it, and there was an elevator, and every single one of the levels of that building, it looked like there was something going on there, but there was one area that he took us to where there was like a balcony, and it was like, I mean, this building is probably from the 1800s or something, you know, and the view from the balcony was pretty cool.
Yeah, you could see the Alamo right there.
Yeah.
So I called it like a open mall walking area before, but really what it was a town square surrounding the Alamo. So the Alamo was in this little, very tiny park, and then the street around that park was just covered with, or was just, surrounded by different businesses and buildings and stuff. And the Magicians Agency Theater was one of them, and they had, like Watkins was saying, this balcony right outside on their, it was the 3rd story up or something? 3rd or 4th story?
Yeah.
And from there, I'm sure they really must enjoy like all the parades and all the events and stuff like that the town puts on. Really cool space, and really neat to have that secret little balcony that you can go out onto and enjoy stuff. So, Scott, we'll see you next time. Set us up a show, man. Definitely go and check out the Magicians Agency Theater the next time that you are in San Antonio, because apparently these shows are selling out. I can't remember how many seats were in the theater. It was relatively small. It wasn't a massive theater,
but they had a big stage and stuff.
They had a big stage, and he had sold like 65 or 70 tickets for the next weekend that we were there, and he's performing himself, but I'm hoping that he is open to hosting other performers.
Me too.
What do you think?
Yeah,
that'd be pretty fun. So one of the major things about San Antonio is when you go down there and you get into the bars. I think it's like next door to the Magicians Agency Theater, or right off that town square.
It was walking distance for sure.
It was, it was a block away max. You go into the bar, and then you come out the other side, and what do you see but this Venetian-style river that just goes for, I don't know, we didn't walk the whole thing.
We didn't even do the whole thing, but it was beautiful, man. It was a really cool-looking place. It looked modern, but still classy. And there was people walking all up and down it. They had different bars that you could stop and go and buy a beer to take with you to walk along the river. I mean, it was a really cool place. Of shops.
It was absolutely amazing. It was just this great I mean, there weren't like gondolas, but you wouldn't be surprised if you saw one, right? Like, because it was just this beautiful.
There was
river.
actually. I think I remember seeing like there was something where people were able to get on that. Right?
Get on in the river and ride around.
It might just be a false memory of mine, but I feel like I remember seeing that.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Let's just say they exist, and if people go and they're not there, then they stopped existing.
They ought
There.
to. You know?
Yeah, they definitely ought to. So that was really, really cool. The River Walk in San Antonio, which is right next to the Alamo, which surprised the heck out of us. Really, really amazing, amazing experience. That was a highlight of the tour for me.
It was for everybody. Every single one of us, of our team, of me, Kent, Billy Boy, Jorge, and even Courtney. Yeah, Courtney was even saying like that was one of her favorite places.
Really, really cool stuff. Very cool.
I wasn't expecting that either from San Antonio. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect at all. San Antonio, Texas, to me, it just didn't ping as something that was going to be super exciting, but it really was. Really, really, really great time.